Yo, what's going on, everybody? There's no webcam today on this one, but we're gonna be analyzing the academics exposes fresh part of the podcast. Make sure that y'all stay tuned, leave a like, all that good stuff. We're gonna be breaking down every single part, so stay tuned. All right, let's start it from right here
and get what I want. That being said, right? I invited her on the yacht.
Tagline. That being said, I love it.
I invited her on the yacht, right? For a purpose to meet.
One thing I want to state right here, right now. Look at her face. Look at her composure. Look at the girl next to Fresh. Pay attention to her body language. Pay attention to what she says. Pay attention to how she says it. But not only that, pay attention to the girls around her, right? Pay attention to the girls on the panel. They also have the inside scoop on this situation. So pay attention to how everything happens.
Talk to her.
So the first time you met her, you invited her on the yacht.
100%.
And you left the yacht by saying she fucks with me for me.
No. This is after a period of time where like I saw certain things. I saw what she's about, where she came from. I was like, okay, cool. Think about this, right? I've seen multiple chicks come.
So, let me just tap in real quickly. A big tactic that most people will use when they're lying is called deflection, where they will take the point in which they're being accused of, and they will try and bring up a different point of view or different topic to try and take the topic and the heat off of themselves. It's almost like a form of lying without actually lying. If that makes sense, I hope so. I hope it does. If it doesn't, leave it in the comment section, and I will reply with a better answer.
To Miami all the time, get into a certain environment, and then they change completely. However, when they first come to Miami, they're not always into that environment where they make that change.
Okay.
So what happens is that girls come to Miami, right? They meet some friends, they go out, they meet promoters, they meet celebrities, and then they're for the street.
And then she gone.
You're Myron.
And then let me finish. Let me finish.
Now, pay attention to the second girl right here. She's from Miami. She was born and raised in Miami. So whenever Fresh refers to a Miami girl, quote unquote, he is talking about her, essentially, because she's from Miami. So pay attention to her response, pay attention to her body language also.
So I've experienced
I'm gonna eat him alive after
dating multiple girls, some from Miami, some from outside of Miami, France, Germany, wherever, right? So I've seen the cycle here. Now, that being said, when I met her, I saw she hadn't been tainted yet. She hadn't been like in certain circles where like, you know what? Damn, she's gone through the streets. So I want to see where her head was at. And we meet on certain levels, we vibe. And regarding my vlog, she adds value to my vlog.
Now pay attention to her face. Now she seems a little bit uneasy, right? She's like, oh, well, we're getting into a part of the conversation that I'm not necessarily comfortable with. But if she was genuinely interested in Fresh, if this was a real relationship, which I will come out and say it, I definitely believe that this is fake. I definitely believe that she's probably like a sugar girl or something. There's something funny going on here, right? Because there's no way a girl who's this interesting and this famous, like I'm only saying famous because she's on the podcast, but we all know she's not famous. But this famous is acting this way when she's quote-unquote with her mans.
So you know what? I want to get to know her a little bit better. We're just vibing right now.
Okay.
So your whole argument of, oh, I'm going to be finessed by this chick.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Okay.
I want to make certain claims. So I feel like you're a little bit exposing yourself.
How?
Because the way you talk about women, especially because you're in Miami, you just proved that saying that if she's here and she's new, those rules don't apply. You don't talk to just a Miami audience. You talk to an audience that's literally all around the world. So you're pretty much telling your audience, everything I tell you doesn't apply to y'all because you're not in Miami. I thought you were giving universal rules. That's hold on.
And the thing I like about this is that academics, when he gets a little bit of Hennessy into him, he cannot help but keep it real and keep it authentic and call people out on their shit, right? And this is important. This is extremely important because without that, we would have never even seen the podcast Fresh from this type of perspective.
Hold on.
We're talking about her.
I got
right
you. No, I know.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about how you are saying she doesn't apply to many things that you would say about the normal girl.
No, it can happen outside. I'm just saying like.
So what Ak is saying in here is, why are you separating your girl from the plethora of girls that you've interviewed who are basically the exact same, and yet you treat those girls way worse than you are treating this one girl, right? And he's also saying, why does she get a pass to all these exceptions to the rules, to all these rules that you and Myron have both come up with to give your game and to give content to this podcast? Why does she get a pass but no other girl does, right?
Second of all, I do want to ask a question. And by the way, the chat's going to be the jury.
Okay.
You said, number one, she was here for a short amount of time and she wasn't tainted, quote unquote. And you have done the checks and balances to make sure she's not going to be that. Could you at least tell the jury how long you've known her?
Now you see, this is a very important question. Look at the reaction on each of these girls' face. She's like, oh shit, that was a very, very scary question. She's like, oh, that is a good question. How long have they known each other? And she's looking like, yeah, this is definitely a question that needed to be asked. So we're going to see what Fresh says.
1 month.
So 1 month, at the time of this recorded video, or at the time of the recorded podcast, I'm sorry, her and Fresh were together for exactly 1 month, 30 days. And he's making all these claims. That's scary. And you can see the response on each of the girls' face.
Okay.
We have two girls that are laughing. They can't contain their laughter. One girl who's trying to contain her laughter right here. And then we have her who's sitting there like, yo, why did he just ask that question? Like, bro, you're messing up my bag. You're messing up my game plan. And then you have these two girls, since they are with Mike, they're kind of looking like, oh, that's a telling sign. And they know it. They know it. And Fresh knows it too. That's why he kind of has this look on his face like, yeah, you're right, but I'm not going to say it, right? And then you have this girl right here. She's been on the podcast numerous amount of times. I think she's actually a freshman fit girl. So she definitely has the inside scoop on what goes on behind the scenes. So her face says a lot as well. Why is she looking like, oh, dang, like that? Like that's the expression her face gives.
Okay, so in a month, you met her on a yacht. A month later, you have figured out that she isn't what every other girl in Miami is.
Look, you're taking.
Look at Ak's face. He's basically telling Fresh, answer this question correctly or you will expose yourself for being a hypocrite and a liar. And a fraud. That's basically what his face is saying. She got to cover her face because she don't want to smile on camera because she's part of the crew. She can't help but smile because she knows that she's technically being bashed the whole stream because when Myron and Fresh talk about Miami girls, they're talking about her as well.
Taking it as in like, yo, I'm about a wife. Like it's only like only girl is like, yo, like I just met her, right? So obviously I'm like checking to see where she's at, and at the same time it's like, yo, I'm seeing traits where she's like different in terms of like, okay, she's not thinking like most Miami girls. That being said, I don't know the full. I mean,
and here's another part, guys. Why is her face now not so expressive? She seems almost annoyed, angry, upset that we've now ventured into this part of the discussion where, all right, let's keep it real. How long are y'all actually doing this? Like, is this even a thing? Do you claim her? Does she claim you? Are you guys exclusive? What's going on? And she's sitting here like, man, these are not the questions I want to be asked at this moment in time. And you can tell just by how she's conducting herself. She seems very insecure.
I mean, trajectory. Like she just got here, so it's like we're vibing right now.
What does it mean
Mhm.
that she's different and not thinking like a Miami girl? I just
Yes.
pointed you out
I know, like,
someone.
Okay.
I'm
Like,
born and raised-
explain that, because I've heard you
Please.
say,
Yeah.
you know,
You see, you can tell she gets triggered by the statement of the average Miami girl, and so does she. I believe she's also from Miami. So these two women are from Miami. So keep this in mind whenever Fresh refers to Miami girls.
like, you get on my podcast. You say, hey, listen, women, especially down here, they're gonna be attracted to certain things. This blah blah blah.
Yeah.
What does it mean to be different from a Miami girl? Explain that difference.
Okay, so for example, right, she's not into like designer, going crazy like, oh, I need to have this and that. It's more like she wants a good time with me, right? And then secondly, like for example,
What Miami girls are,
Huh?
generally.
Miami.
no, some are, not obviously not every
Uh-oh.
single girl.
Now you see how Fresh is kind of having to back up on what he's saying because he has two Miami girls present, so he cannot say anything that bashes Miami girls because they're gonna come up and defend themselves. So now he's in a place where, like, all right, I can't generalize to make it seem not as bad. Her face is now completely changed, and her expression is completely changed from when we first started the video. Now she seems quite angry at this conversation, and she doesn't even want to participate. Oh, I
But some are,
apologize,
but I
guys.
like
We're talking about just majority.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it's kind of like
By the way,
Uh-huh.
Myron, just because I want to be fair,
this nigga, bro.
no, you're allowed to be his lawyer.
Oh.
Now, why would academics say that? These are the questions you have to ask yourselves when watching the Fresh and Fit podcast. Not to down them because they make great content. I consume their content personally. But these are questions you have to ask yourself while watching. Why does Fresh need a podcast lawyer when speaking about a relationship that he claims is authentic?
I'm telling you, I don't want this to be a mistrial because they said he ain't had a public defender, he ain't had Johnny Cochran with him, he ain't had the nigga who had Bill Cosby get out of jail.
Listen,
You could hop in at any time
Y'all
because
go-
this guy seems.
You guys go.
I'm telling you,
You
bro.
guys go like one round, 2 rounds maybe, and then we'll
Okay.
get
Alright.
because I know y'all wanted to do
I'm
this.
telling
We got 6,000 plus you guys in here.
Like the
First of
video.
all, like the goddamn
we
video
don't
right now.
entertain K's, easy.
Substance channel.
Like it, like the
Video.
video.
So you're accusing me of being a hypocrite and being delusional, right?
Now, no, Fresh is now taking things from a broad perspective to now a personal perspective. He's no longer talking about the audience. He's talking specifically about academics and saying, you're calling me a hypocrite. Not addressing the fact that not only does academics think he's a hypocrite, but his fan base thinks he's a hypocrite. Those are telling signs of the argument and where he's going to go with this.
So
just in love.
I want to know where in this whole like
I like
scenario
what
here.
you said.
No, I'm not.
Oh.
Where in the scenario, right? Do you see me being hypocritical in regards to like just dating her?
No.
So no, he said he's dating her. This is what he said. Keep this in mind for the rest of the video. Fresh Prince CEO said he is dating this girl. So either he's telling the truth or he's lying. There is no other way to cut this apple.
You're being hypocritical because if everything that I've seen this podcast preach that you're a part of,
Mhm.
when I've seen your actions with her,
Mhm.
you're acting like, and I've seen y'all silence a lot of women here by saying you're just the exception. We're talking about the rule. You
Now pay attention. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let AK. I'm gonna let Act keep going, but pay attention to her face. She knows that's true, but she's not gonna say anything. So she's like, ah, damn. Axe better go in.
are willing to basically say, hey, fuck the rule. She's the exception.
Wait, okay. Where did they say that? I'm saying that she is showing certain traits right now.
Why do you think she's interested in you?
Ask her.
Now that is a very, very, very good question, and you can tell by the expressions. Look at the expressions. Look at the expressions. she's like, oh shit, he really just like put me on blast.
I was gonna say, can I answer this? I feel like the first
Merch
day that I met you, having that genuine conversation on the boat, like
on a yacht.
Oh, on the boat. Was it 60 foot long? Was it 85 foot?
I couldn't even
Free
tell
drink.
you.
So you're telling me that the conversation that you had with him there, if he cold approached you, right?
So think about this, right? She's gonna explain her version of why she's with Fresh, and her reason, quote unquote, is he has a good personality, and she met him on the yacht, and she found that he was a very interesting man. Okay, let's roll with that.
While you were online about to get into, I don't know if you go to Club Live or whatever, any spot out here, you was about to get some, I don't know, some fucking yogurt, and he cold approached you. If he had the same conversation that he had with you on the boat in fucking beautiful Miami, I've been on a yacht with this nigga. I was like, damn, I can understand why this is a flex. If he had the same conversation with you, you're like, no, this is my guy.
So what Ack is basically saying, you're saying you like his personality. So remove the luxurious lifestyle, remove the chains, remove the McLaren, remove this luxury lifestyle, and base everything off of what you're saying. His personality and how he conducts himself. Would you have given Fresh a chance if he was a lower value, lower tier man? And this is her response.
See, I am a very big personality person. So
That's a very big cop-out for females. That's an extremely easy cop-out.
if he came up to me and he just came and was like, hey, let me get your number, that's a no from me.
No men will ever do that. For all the men watching, have you ever just went up to a girl and said, hey, what's up? Let me get your number. And that's it? No, right? That's not actually the interactions that people have with each other. So what she just stated was an unrealistic situation. So which makes that point invalid.
The fact that he invited me, and he invited me out before.
Yeah.
And it was just the fact that me and my roommate were sitting at home. No, me and my
So Ack is playing out. So he did invite you once before and you didn't go. But when he invited you to the yacht, you went. And that's where his face is at. And that's where her face is at. And that's where her face is at.
roommate were sitting at home, and I was like, wow, what are we gonna do tonight? And then like at that moment, he texted me and he was like, hey, do
go
you
ride
guys...
with scooters or get on the yacht. Let's talk about it.
And he's right. I'm not a materialistic person at all. I could be if I wanted to.
Now ask yourself this. As a girl who, for all the females, if you're a female watching, please write down in the comment section. If you're interested in a guy and he has a McLaren, a Rolex watch bust down with diamonds, and a $100,000 Cuban link chain, and he invites you to a yacht to chill, are you materialistic?
I don't care about that shit. Like, my dream car is a fucking Honda Civic. Like, there's nothing about me materialistic. Being on a yacht is not, I wasn't like, oh my God, like he's inviting us to a yacht. Like, I'm so excited.
So what about
Now, ask yourself this, everybody watching. If someone invited you to a yacht, how would you think? How would you feel? Would you say, oh, that's cool, he's a good guy, let me go with him just because of his personality, screw the yacht, screw the diamonds, screw the money, I just want to be with this guy, even though I've never been with him before, he invited me to a yacht, but I like his personality? Or you're going to say, holy crap, this dude invited me to a yacht, let's go, let's see how cool he is, let's see what we got, let's see let's have some fun, right? Very, very bad lying by this girl. I don't know how she even feels comfortable speaking when she knows that she's talking straight bull crap. Like, this is just crap, and you can tell the other women, they can see, yo, she's capping. She's capping.
Been on a yacht before. I've had people try to hit on me. It's not about the yacht.
Okay, what about the conversation? What did he say? We want to learn because I'm like,
Pay attention. Pay attention to the faces. Even Myron's like, oh man, Ag, you're relentless, man.
It was
one of
like
the
a
people-
genuine, like, I want to get to know you thing. I think we both had a
Yeah.
physical attraction to each other at that point, and it wasn't like,
Okay, well, let me give her the benefit of the doubt. Okay, I can see that. A physical attraction to each other. You're a very attractive girl. I see that. Fresh is not too ugly. I'm not Nas X, so I don't really, float that boat. But, I can see that. I mean, that makes sense to me.
hey, like, I want to get to know you to fuck. It felt super genuine, and we just had a really good time. We talked up there for like an hour and a half before
Yeah.
we got interrupted. We probably could have talked the entire way back.
Notice how she's not giving any details. She's keeping it very broad, keeping it very airy-fairy, such you have to fill in the blanks. She's not giving any type of detail to the experience she had with Fresh on the boat or on the yacht. She's just basically running around, trying to cut the bushes. She's trying her best to not give as much detail as she needs to give a proper answer.
Back and forth. Like,
I think what your problem is that like
wait.
hold on,
Wait,
hold
you said
Hold on,
you
hold on.
said he invited you out before. Why you didn't go before?
on, hold on.
I was always
hold on.
busy, or like I was
But
pretty
the
new
yacht,
to
you were busy
so
for the yacht,
I was
right?
living.
Hold on, wait.
No, I was living.
Look at the face. That's a good point. Look at the faces, guys. Come on, man. Ack is on point. Ack got a little bit of alk in his system, but he's still on point. He know what he's talking about. He knows when someone is capping. You guys have to remember, academics was in the music industry, an industry that is built off facades and lying and capping. So when he's on the show with this amateur capper, he's going to rip her apart just with the questions. He's not even going to go into a deep conversation. He's asking very simple questions you could ask a normal 9-to-5 girl. And she's having a hard time giving details on why she actually likes Fresh. That's alarming.
Oh, they're not right.
No, I'm trying to see.
You see what your problem is? You think that because I have clout, everyone wants me for clout. However, for you, that's true. For me, it's not.
So now, this is a very interesting tactic by Fresh. He's basically going to try his best to denounce and devalue the words that academics is saying, because he's basically telling us, even though you have the experience of having all this clout and having all this access to women and living this type of lifestyle, that's not the case with me. Even though they're both on the same podcast, they both hang around the same type of girls, they both have relatively the same type of cars. He's basically just trying to devalue his argument to save his little sugar baby. And she's terrified. You can just see it on her face. She's like, wow, I don't know why he did this to me. Like, I didn't do anything to deserve this type of vibe. You feel me?
I actually have game, bro, right? That being said, hold on. That being said, right, bro?
Not gay.
Your experience.
Fresh. This is a telltale sign. When you say out loud that you have game and people laugh, that's probably a sign you don't have game.
Right, with girls is tainted because you want to see it for clout.
Oh.
Versus here, I'll tell you the truth, bro.
Oh.
Look, it's the truth, right? So
We
for
need,
you, it's
we
like
need evidence to substantiate your claim, sir.
Okay.
And also notice, guys, you have Mike Rashid with 2 women on his arm that he also claims to be his women. But look at the difference in how they're conducting themselves. They got their arms around him. They're close together. You can tell that there is definitely energy being exchanged between the 3 of them. And then you look back at Fresh
Yeah.
and his girl. They look like they're just friends at the most. At the most, they look like they're friends. This is some interesting stuff, guys. I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure y'all subscribe, and I'm out of here.